everyone. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original QueenAShakur show. Also, thanks to those of you tuned in on the QueenAShakur TV show. I'm your host, QueenAShakur, and this is another one of your Sunday vitamins. So as you're coming in, please be sure to like and share the videos. Like and share, very important. Also, subscribe to the channel or unsubscribe. But if you do subscribe, make sure that you click that notification bell and click the word all so that you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right, with that all being said, don't forget to follow me on Instagram at Dr._A_Shakur. You can follow me on TikTok at Dr. A Shakur, on Twitter at DGoddess27. Make sure you go to my website and please subscribe, QueenAmadiyahShakur.com, so that you're added to my email list in case anything happens to the channels. And also, don't forget to double check and make sure that you're still subscribed to the channels, especially if you have not been receiving notifications. Okay, because we know how they unsubscribe people. So let's get into it. This is another nefarious story. And I hate to hear these stories specifically around the holidays. Not that I really care about the holidays, but many people do. And so when tragedies occur right before the holidays, that is something that the people who have to live with this will always remember as those holidays are coming up. And so they can't even really get joy out of the holidays any longer for those that do celebrate the holidays. So let's talk about it. So this happened in Louisville, Kentucky, in an area called Valley Station. Okay, they say it's hard to wrap your mind around it, but 4 were found deceased after an alleged 187, and then the person deleted themselves. Okay, so the victims include 1 man, 1 woman, and 2 juvenile females. This is what they say, and they all appear to be from the same family. So a community in Southwest Jefferson County has been hit by the unthinkable tragedy of finding everyone on the premises deceased. Police are investigating after the 4 people were found with apparent gunshot wounds inside the home on Valley Station in the neighborhood Saturday morning. Now, the LMPD, they responded to East Pages Lane, which is just off Dixie Highway, at a report to a shooting. They say they're now calling this a domestic deleted or 187. Y'all know you have to choose your words carefully. And also where the person deleted themselves. They're saying everyone involved was in the same family. And so the police believe the man was the aggressor in the situation, shooting and deleting a woman and 2 girls inside the home. After which they say he then deleted himself. Now, they say many of our officers are fathers and mothers as well. It's difficult to see anything like this. That's what Major Michael Shue said. Details released are limited, including what triggered this entire outburst. So right now, they don't even know what the motive for this was. They say the news of this is heartbreaking as developments have traveled quickly in the neighborhood and to the churches along Pages Lane, including Life Church Louisville, which is just across the street from the home, according to police. They say the lead pastor of that church, Patrick Bissick, says that his congregation will be there for any of the people, the neighbors, family, and friends who need support at service this morning, and to uplift the community as best that they can. The pastor said that, all we're going to do tomorrow, because of course this happened yesterday, is to try to offer hope. Not only do we need to be a friend, but also a light to these folks. Bissick says his church had interacted with the family on multiple times before, and they were never close. But he did say that they saw them all the time on holidays, specifically Christmas, New Year's, and Easter. He said from the outside looking in, they look like your pretty, normal, average, traditional, happy family. But so you never know what's going on. Sometimes people put up facades. They don't know if this was an ongoing dispute that led to this or something that just out of nowhere happened. But they say absolutely incredible sadness that another preventable death has occurred. The majority of homicides that have occurred in Louisville and Jefferson County this year, they say they've never had contact with, which means they didn't reach out for any help. The people didn't, give any indications that there was something domestic going on with inside the residence in many of these cases. And so this is all very sad. And they said that there unfortunately, this one turned out deadly. They say it's going to be even more painful to hear as the story unfolds. If we hear neighbors say, I thought something was going on, I wish I would have said something, or I wish I would have done this, or wish I would have done that, that's one of the things that we're always trying to prevent. This is what the police are saying. And they say, don't wait, reach out. So again, this goes back to what I said on the previous video, that if you know something's going on, someone's being injured, there's something that doesn't look right or whatever, it's always best to speak out and say something. You could actually be saving someone's life, whether you realize that or not. So anyway, this is all very sad. But in the meantime, I also want to give you all some tips. The police are talking about how they're going to be tackling, robberies and things like that during the holiday season. And let me just give you your lifelines, because at the end of the day, there's a lot of spikes in crimes during the holiday seasons, as I'm sure you all know. So you need to be particularly careful when you're out doing your shopping. I would not carry cash if I were any of you while you're out there doing Christmas shopping and all that. I would definitely not carry cash. Okay, take a credit card or debit card, because at least if someone takes that from you, you can simply just call and get it canceled. But cash, that's never a good thing to do. Also, you need to be extra careful when you're out here with your packages and things like that, when you're walking in and out of stores and malls and all those things. There are sometimes people waiting to snatch things from you. Okay. And then also, as far as putting your packages, things that you've purchased in your vehicles, you should never have these things in the vehicle where they're in plain view, like lying on a front or back seat. None of that should ever happen, because people will literally break out your windows to get those things. Okay, so they should be placed in a trunk. And these are just a few tips. Also, everyone, specifically women, when you're going to gas stations and you're pumping your gas, you should not have your back turned to your vehicle with your doors unlocked. Because these thieves who sit around twiddling their thumbs all day, just waiting for something to get into, waiting to catch somebody slipping or off guard, someone not fully being aware of their surroundings, well, they'll go over and open your door sometimes, because most of the times when people get out to pump their gas, they do not lock their doors. And so if you have your back turned to the vehicle and you're pumping gas, specifically women, and you have your purse in the car, lying on the floor of the car, or on the seat or something like that, well, they can just creep over, ease the door open, and take the purse or whatever while you're not even looking. And if you've gone and done some shopping, they can take that too. So just pay attention, because people are slick these days. Okay. So with that all being said, let me just show you all this video where the police are also telling people to pay attention to their surroundings during this holiday season. And be sure to like and share this video. Don't forget to do that, because y'all know they have the Queen Shadow Band, honey. The hate is real. Pay attention. Okay, here we go.
Louisville Metro Police say they're cracking down on certain types of robberies. With the holidays approaching, they say it's important to be aware of your surroundings. The department says business robberies are up 8% from this time last year. Bank robberies are down 46%, and carjackings are down 7%. Lieutenant Alicia Rudy says most of those carjackings happen in parking lots. She says if you find yourself in this type of situation, there are several ways you can protect yourself.
You can, like I said, make a scene, scream, yell, cause other people to look your way so that it will deter them and scare them off. And I've even seen some people that are adding the Apple AirTags to their vehicle so that when the vehicle drives off, you say you comply, you don't want any trouble, and they have a gun, fine, you can have the car, it's replaceable, a human being is not. People are leaving Apple AirTags in their cars so that we are able to track them.
She also recommends when you park, don't sit around on your phone. Move with a purpose. To prevent business robberies, she advises owners have more than one person working at night and make sure surveillance cameras are working properly.
Okay, so there is your lifelines. And let me just say this. I've told you all a story before, about paying attention to your surroundings, how very important and crucial that is. If you're walking around texting on your phone, holding your head down, looking on your phone and all those things, someone could just come up, knock you upside the head, or snatch your purse, or snatch your bags, or whatever. pull a gun on you, anything. I had a friend who one year around Christmas, this was years ago, of course, but she went into a bank, cashed a check for like $1,100 and was not paying attention to her surroundings. There was two guys in there watching her, saw her get the cash, and they followed her out of the store. They also had a decoy outside who was working with them, a female, and this female approached my friend and asked her for the time. Now, when she asked her for the time, my friend went to look at her phone. And then while she's doing this, the two guys came up behind her, snatched her purse, and then even went in her pockets. Okay. And then just took the money and ran off, jumped into a car, and that was it. Now she went back into the bank to get help or whatever. But unfortunately, the bank didn't have working video cameras outside. So the only thing they had to go on was her description of the people, and those people were never caught. And that's often the case. So you have to be very vigilant and do your own due diligence to make sure that you don't become a victim of circumstance. Another thing is, I've told you all before how a friend of mine, we were in a store shopping one time. We were in a store shopping, and there was this guy that I noticed, and he was just following us from one aisle to the next, and he was not picking up any items. So that let me know that he's not here to purchase anything. He's up to something nefarious. Okay. So I told my friend, I said, that guy's following us. And she was like, Queen, he's not following us. You're just paranoid. And I said, no, that man is following us. Okay. I said, watch this. Now let's go down the cat and dog food aisle and see if he follows us there. So we went down that aisle, which is a random aisle because how many people really go down that aisle in Kroger. So we went down the aisle, and then here he comes down the same aisle. So when we got to the counter to pay for our things, he had one canned good that he picked up. He set it down at the U-Scan counter, and he just walked out, didn't even pay for it. So like I said, he wasn't there to purchase anything. He was there just trying to find someone to rob or whatever. I don't know what he was up to, but it wasn't good. So I told her, I said, if we go outside and he's out there, like he's waiting around in the parking lot and he starts to try to follow us, I said, I'm just going to go off. Okay. So when we get out there, he's standing like right outside the door. And as we stepped off the curb going towards the car, here he comes walking behind us, briskly walking up behind us. So I turned around and I just started yelling as loud as I could. You better back the F up. Why are you following us? This and that. Don't make me have to call 911 and all this. So to which he replies, oh, where's my car? And then he pretends to be looking across the parking lot as if he doesn't remember where he parked. So that goes back to what the police officer said. Start talking loudly, cause a scene. That's what you do. And another tip is, if anyone ever tries to abduct you in a public place, don't go with them. I don't care if they have a gun. Do not go with them, because 9 times out of 10, if you've seen their face, they're not going to leave behind a witness. They'll take you off somewhere, do whatever they want, and then delete you. And then it may be forever, take forever for, your body to be found. It may never be found. Okay. So the best thing to do in that scenario, in my opinion, is to just fall out. Someone comes up to you, because like I told y'all, there was a story of a man doing this, abducting a woman and her 2-year-old at gunpoint in a Kroger parking lot years ago. And the woman went with him out of fear because he had a gun. And he ended up, raping her and then deleting her and the child. And it was like 6 to 8 weeks before the bodies were even found. And like I said, in some cases, they're never found. Okay, so best thing to do, in my opinion, is to just fall out. Just fall out, hit the ground like you just passed out, like you fainted or whatever. Because what do you think they're going to do? Pick you up and then throw you over their shoulders with people just walking around or whatever? So you have to be thinking quickly when these things happen. I know a lot of times people panic and they don't think clearly or whatever, but you have to always have your wits about you. Okay, so that's just a lifeline for you all. Also, make sure you're stocking up on your water and your non-perishable food items. With that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. And by the way, if you are a victim of domestic violence or you know someone who is, please either call them or have the person to call the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. That all being said, I wish you all love, peace, and prosperity. Each one teach one. That's how we grow and thrive. Do something productive, constructive, but never destructive. And remember to keep the Most High first in your lives. Peace.